Hi, today I'm going to share with you my little story. I was dreaming to have a big toy factory. And then I think that this factory will provide me with the millions of dollars and I will be a millionaire. But after I do any stages, I have to think about it. I have to plan for this one. And when I start doing my planning, I find myself I have to prepare the feasibility study, starting for the marketing plan, technical, economical, and then the financial. I know the feasibility study stages, but I was feeling passionate about my idea. Is it profitable? Is it feasible? So I follow the feasibility study to fulfill my dream and think if it is provide me with the money or that I'm dreaming about it or not. So I know that the feasibility study is an analysis if the idea that I'm dreaming to create my toy factory is viable or not. Could I cover the cost? Is it logical? Do we need it? Because here in many developing countries, we are importing toys from abroad. So, can we start investigating for the functions? Should we proceed with this idea or not? I don't know if I'm going to proceed or not, if I'm going to implement it or not. So I started putting the contents in front of me. I know that I'm dreaming to have a toy factory to provide kids with toys and make them happy. And then I start to gather the information, the material, the products, and then I go for the organization and the setting of the current systems that I'm looking for. And there is a constraints, do I have the machines, do I have the items, the material or not? So but I find that all the materials are imported. The machines is not available. So I have to look for a solution. Could I import the machines from abroad? If there is another alternative to have the machines internally, and then I have to gather data and look for the competitors. What are the other toys in this market? What are the other products that I have it here? So I have to look for the description. What kind of description? The product, the toys, the kinds, the differentiation between the different things that I'm going to produce for the kids. So I determined the segmentation. Yes, my segmentation was the kids. So I'm looking for the cost and benefit. I start to gather the data for the machines, the equipments, and everything. So in order to say if it is profitable one, or I have to spend all my money and then cry after that. So I need supporting material to take a decision. So this is why we are studying feasibility study. So the first thing that has come to your mind that you have to look for the data. What kind of data? There are two types of data. Both of them, we need them. The primary data, which includes interviews, the kinds of the product, the features, the specs, the prices, everything. And I have to gather data concerning if it's expensive, time consuming, is it available, if I'm going to depend on the imported product or I can replace it with the local product. Secondary one, which is include industry and trade publication, which is how much of toys we are importing, how much we spend, if there is any association that can support me, do the government provide help, do the government encourage people who are providing these products or produce these types of products or not. So this is the important part, gathering data. So the pre-investment stage starts by pre-identification. So I have to identify the segment. What kind of segment or sector as well. The segment here it is the kids, and the sector it is the luxury or toys stories or looking for manufacturing. So after we're looking for this identification, I identify them going to provide the kids with a product. And maybe I can deliver it to them as well through an application. So these all are my old dreams. So this, I have to go for doing the marketing, technical, financial, and economic study. And then after I will do these four steps, I can take a decision either to proceed with my toy factory or not. So I started by looking for the first important stage in the feasibility study, which is, what do you think? What is the first one? What is the most important one? The marketing study, where we depend on market research, gathering primary or secondary research. So starting by the marketing mix, followed by the consumer analysis and segmentation, competitor analysis, and finally the demand forecast. So the marketing mix, I have to answer myself the four P's, or to write the descriptions and the details of the four P's. What four P's? The product itself, the toys, the shape of it, how much it will be, how much it will be sold in the market. If I may need to make a promotion, where I'm going to sell it. Is it online, offline? I have to open stores, or I'm going to deliver it. And then, since I know that I'm trying to provide kids with toys, this is my target segment. So this is the segmentation. So what product they bought, which one they bought it, which features, what are the preferences, and why they buy it. They buy because it is light, cheap, enjoyment, what things that they are attract their attention to buy this. Who are the buyers? Who are only the buyer? The kids? Not usually the kids. Maybe the family, the parents, someone is giving you a gift. When it is bought, is it occasionally or usually or in seasonal, or they bought it only in Eid, for example? How much number of units, which is very important because it will reflect on my capacity and where to buy it, where I'm going to buy this product. So if there is the only one, if there is only one who is producing toys, or there is an imported products. So I have to look my competitors. And when I'm looking for the competitor analysis, there is a very important stage that we have to look for, which is the SWOT analysis. The internal factors that looking for my firms, which are the strengths that it will make me distinguish. I will produce domestically. I will not need foreign currency. I will provide the product internally. I'm not depending upon importation. So this is the important things. What is the weakness? Maybe I don't have enough availability of capital. I don't have enough foreign exchange. Maybe the quality of the product. So I have to write all these things. The second part, which is the opportunity that I'm looking for. If I am dreaming to export my product, or I replace the important products with the domestic produced one, and what are the threats? Maybe the COVID-19 stop the supply chain and I cannot import the material. So I have to write all these things. And then coming to the planning part, which is the demand forecasting. And this is we're going to tackle it in the next video. So the market study as well need the market analysis for the producer. For me, I am a producer who are looking for the project strategy. I want to be a leader in the market. I have a brand, I have a unique name, or I have a challenger. I want to replace another one of the highly branded product. Or I will follow or copy and paste one, or I will provide a customized product for local people according to their culture, according to their religions, according to their beliefs, according to their environment. So this is what looking for niche market. Marketing strategy as well, it is helping me to take in my consideration what kind of marketing I'm looking for. I'm going to penetrate the market because the markets have a lot of competitors. So I have to use my price and quality strategy. Or I to develop the product with the different features or different specification that let the segment that I'm looking for willing to buy this one. Or I will develop a currently product and make it more better through diversifications, providing more features, let's say. So after I did my marketing study, which is the first one in the visibility study, let's go for the technical. The technical study starts by the planning phase, followed by the construction phase, and then finally the operational phase. So what we will have in this planning phase? In the planning phase, you have the product specification, and we have to specify the product properties such as, let's say, the qualitative properties, the physical property, is it gas or liquid, solid or not, chemical nature, it is important the purity, the percentage of lead in the toys, let's say for example, and as well the humanity and mechanical properties of the product itself, followed by the location, which is planning stage. We have to consider three elements here. the environmental impact, if it is environmentally friendly, the social and economic factors, and here we have to take in consideration the government regulation, the financial incentives, the legal and physical aspect according to certain criteria or law that the government, let's say, prohibit certain material to be produced, for example. And then the infrastructure. The product should be make sure that the site is well defined for its infrastructure. The condition by analysis, all about the mean of transportation, communication, facilities, services system, electricity, bridge, roads, highway. All these things are in the planning phase. Followed after that by the construction phase, which is to have five main elements. It is the engineering and technology choice, layout of the project, production stage, choosing material and equipment, and civil work. So here in the engineering and technological choice, you have the planet capacity. What is your planet capacity? The feasible normal capacity, the maximum capacity that you have it. It is taking in consideration because this is will be the whole supply that you are going to provide. And this is will reflect on the demand forecasting from the previous point. The production program as well, it is important. What kind of production product? If it is an intermediate or it is a final, all of this should be according to the cost resources, market condition, and the license of the important resource. Followed after that by the technology stages and the choices that you're looking for. If you are importing a highly technical products or the production program, market strategy, environment impact, number of labor needed, capital intensity, and all of these. When you go for the layout of the project, you have to take in consideration the building and the resources that you are going to have it in order to start your business. And if there is a civil society, civil engineering work is required to build the factory or not. All these are reflected on the cost later. Let's go for the operational phase, which is how much of material, factory supply, other elements are needed for the project. We have to focus on four different elements: the human resource availability, and if it is risky or cost minimization, you are looking for skilled or unskilled. We should know if foreigners, managerial staff, or you are going to have local one. So this is in the human resource availability. In addition to the power availability of the factory, if it is available energy, material, local production, and this is reflect on the factory supplies. So these combine together with the risk and the cost, which is trying to minimize the risk and minimize the cost. Looking for a perfect time scheduling, we should analyze the time horizon for the project, how much of time you are in need to prepare for your product and its life cycle. It is the project idea till it's going to operation. So let's go for the economical part. What is the economical part? We identification and evaluate the socio-economic cost. What do you mean by socio-economic cost? The meaning of a socio-economic cost, it is important because it is reflected on the country levels and the factors that where you compare between the government regulations, maybe the holidays, the direct subsidies, the incentive that the government provide, if there is a financial incentive to help investors or not, legal and physical aspects according to certain law. So this is basically evaluation of the socio-economic cost. So you have to compare the cost with the benefit and you have to discount it and taking in consideration the discounting rate of the net present value and the internal rate of return and comparing the break-even point. So basically you are going to make forecasting, and when you are forecasting, you use sensitivity analysis, most likely best case scenario, average, or it is a worst case scenario. And then you can go for the conclusion recommendation, either to accept it or not. So the financial study, you are going to have to the following steps. We're going to start with the investment cost, fixed assets plus net working capital, followed by the financial sources of investment, which is how I'm going to finance it, the total investment. Let's say I will need 1 million, 2 million, 3 millions. So this is the investment that I'm in need for. How I'm going to finance it? I'm going to finance it by only capital, or I have to increase the shares, or I have to take loans or issue bonds. So this is the financial source. And then we go for the economic operation, the net revenues minus the total cost. Okay, so this is the income statements, and that I'm looking for in order to know if the project is profitable. This is what I'm looking for. This is the stage that I'm trying to reach it. If it is profitable, then the indicators will give me a good sign to go for it. If it is not, I have to change the assumption or look for another project. I'm not going to do my project, which is the toy factory. So what is next? After the feasibility study has been completed and presented to the leaders, and it is profitable, the indicator is good, and it is viable, then what I'm in need to? I'm in need to implement it. Then what I have to go for? I have to go for preparing my business plan. And this is what we are looking for in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.